Good day, good day, good day. All Things Healing Podcast. This morning, I want to talk to you about conversational intelligence. This is something that I recently learned, and now when I am interacting, when I'm in conversation with people, I am so aware of what type of listener I am, right? There are different type of listeners. There's the dismisser, there's the robber, there's the historian, and there's the engager. So when it comes to conversational intelligence, the definition is the intelligence hardwired into every human being to enable us to navigate successful with others through language and conversation. Facts about conversational intelligence. It's not a necessity. It's a necessity, not an accessory. It's a skill, not a personality trait. It's learnable and scalable. Conversational intelligence. So when someone is talking to you, how are your listening skills? Are you dismissing their conversation, whatever they're sharing? Are you robbing the conversation? Or are you being the historian? Or are you being the engager? My goal is to be the engager in the conversation. Now, certain conversations, you may have to be different things throughout the conversation, right? Somebody just like does a lot of talking, and you may have to just kind of like interject a little bit in there. So I want to share the different types of things that each trait does. So when it comes to the dismisser tends to offer quick solutions without really listening. The dismisser dismisses the other person's point of view without considering it. The dismisser often responds with indifference or disinterest. And the dismisser also tends to dismiss their concerns. The dismisser often tunes out and don't pay much attention to what the other person is saying. The dismisser might downplay their achievement or change the topic. Those are traits of a dismisser. So when somebody is having a conversation with you, if you are doing these things, you are considered a dismisser. We don't want to be a dismisser when it comes to conversations, okay? Next, we're going to talk about the robber. What does the robber do in the conversation? And these are 4 different types of listening skills. So the robber is often going to share their own problem, thinking it will help them relate. When somebody's sharing something, well, let me tell you about what happened to me. Let me tell you about what happened. There was a time when I did this, and you think you've been through something bad. I've been through something bad too. That person, you're being a robber. You're robbing the conversation. Okay, so the next one, I tend to dominate the conversation and make it about my perspective. Well, no, that's not right. That's wrong. That's not right. You're doing that wrong. Okay, that's the robber. Next, I quickly interject with a similar or attention-grabbing story of my own, like I just explained, right? Just bring up your own stuff. Like, let the person talk without robbing the conversation. Next, I often find myself redirecting the conversation to my own experience. Again, what I just shared. Well, let me tell you about what happened to me. You're robbing the conversation, right? And there's some people that might not even talk to you because they already know that you're not going to let them talk. You're going to share what's going on with you. And they just want somebody that's going to listen to them, be engaged in what they are sharing. Okay. I frequently interrupt and dominate the conversation. That's a robber. Frequently interrupting and dominating the conversation. That is considered a robber. All right. These are different these are different traits when it comes to listening styles. Next, they find a way to make the conversation about their accomplishment. Right. You're sharing something about you. Well, my birthday or my whatever, so-and-so. And it's like this person is sharing something about them. And you are robbing the conversation. So be mindful of these things and here's the thing. I didn't know this stuff either. I did not know these things. And I'm like, so now I am aware of this. So the first step is awareness. When am I doing this? And just notice when somebody's talking, what are you doing? Like, just notice, what are you doing? Are you being a dismisser? Are you being a robber? Are you being a historian? Are you being an engager? So next up, the historian. This is what the historian does in the conversation. I share my own similar struggles to show empathy. Okay. I talk extensively about my stance and my experience. That's the historian. What else? I might share my own relevant experience, sometimes taking over the conversation. That's the historian. I tend to talk at length about similar situations I face. That's the historian. I may respond with a story about my own achievements. That is the historian. So that is the historian. Now the engager. So this is the goal. This is the goal when it comes to listening. You want to be the engager. You don't want to be the dismisser. You don't want to be the robber. You don't want to be the historian. You want to be the engager. The engager actively listens, provides support, and asks, how can I help? The person is sharing something. You know what? Thank you for sharing this. How can I support you? How can I help you? That's the engager, all right? Trying to understand the other person's perspective and seek common ground. That is what the engager does. Trying to understand the person's perspective and seek a common ground. What else? Actively listen and ask questions to better understand their feelings. Okay, so how does that make you feel when they're talking? So can you elaborate more? Is there anything else? Is there more? Is there more? You're engaged. You want to listen. You are actively engaged in the conversation. And next, you make an effort to engage with others' ideas, ask questions, and show interest. Okay? And then last but not least, you genuinely celebrate their success and ask about their experience. That's the engager. Conversational intelligence is so important. There are certain conversations where I'm in, and there's so many people do this dismissing and robbing. Oh my goodness, especially in my work environment. You can't even get it out, and another person is talking over you. So when it comes to conversational intelligence, this is a skill that is so needed. Oh my goodness. But we have to be aware of what we're doing, right? When somebody else is talking, or we're listening to somebody, we want to make sure that we are being an engaged listener, okay? Because the dismisser and the robber and the historian, they're people that are probably not going to talk to you that much because they already know you're going to take over the conversation. You're going to talk about what's going on with you. You're going to go back in the past, okay? Or you're going to dismiss what they're saying. People talk to me because I am an engager. When I say people, I don't even ask them. Okay, they just volunteer stuff because I am an engaged listener. So just be mindful of the type of listener that you are when it comes to conversation with other people. People do this just without even. I know they don't mean to do it, but it's kind of like they just do it, and it's like, or you make a post and somebody start making the post about them. Well, what about this? And this happened to me and that. And it's like, okay. Oh, all right. Just pay attention. Now that you're aware of this, you're going to start seeing this more and more and more. Communication is transferring of thoughts, ideas, information, and emotion from one mind to the next. As blood is to the body, communication is to life. It is a transportation system to everything that is important. Conversational intelligence refers to the ability to effectively and skillfully engage in conversations with others and encompasses the capacity to listen actively, understand emotions and intentions behind words, ask thoughtful questions, provide clear and empathetic responses, and build trust and rapport in communication. Conversational intelligence goes beyond mere words and focuses on the quality of interactions, fostering meaningful connections and productive dialogues. All right. And if you need spiritual support, Proverbs 18:13, to answer before listening, that is a folly and shame. Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. And Ephesians 4:29, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of the mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may be benefit those who listen. And then you have James 1:19. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to become angry. All right. So You might want to listen. You might want to go back and look at this video and rate yourself. How many times you do this in the different conversations.
Good day, good day, good day.
And that is all I have.